7 million years ago, the Earth changed the rules of survival. In Africa, the dense jungles began to vanish, replaced by vast, golden grasslands. This wasn't just a change in scenery. It was a fundamental shift in the game of life. Our ancestors, who once thrived in the safety of the forest canopy, were pushed to the edge. They stood at the fringe of a new world, looking out into the tall, dangerous grass where predators hid and opportunity lay just out of sight. They faced a choice: adapt to this new, open world, or disappear forever with the trees they called home. The very ground beneath them was splitting apart. The Great Rift Valley, a massive scar pulling the continent in two, was the cradle of our evolution, forcing a change that would lead to us. The world was no longer a vertical jungle gym, it was a horizontal expanse. And to conquer it, our ancestors had to make a revolutionary leap. For millions of years, our feet were like a second pair of hands, perfect for gripping branches. But on the ground, that design was clumsy. Then, one of our ancestors did something extraordinary. They planted their foot flat on the dirt and pushed themselves up. They stood. This act, bipedalism, walking on two legs, was our first great invention. It wasn't about being faster. In a sprint, a chimpanzee would leave us in the dust. This was about something far more important: efficiency. By standing up, we used 75% less energy than a chimp moving on all fours. We could travel further, much further, on the same amount of food. We could see over the tall grass, spotting both danger and our next meal. And most importantly, by freeing our feet from the job of walking, we freed our hands. For the first time, our hands were available to carry food, to hold tools, to gesture, and eventually, to shape the world. This awkward, tentative first step was the beginning of the human journey. Fast forward to Ethiopia, 3.2 million years ago. Here, we meet one of the most famous skeletons in the world, Lucy. She belongs to a species called Australopithecus. At first glance, she looks more ape than human. She's small, hairy, and her brain is still about the size of a chimpanzee's. But look closer at the way she moves. She walks with a distinctly human stride. Lucy is the bridge between two worlds. Her brain is still ancient, but her hips, her pelvis, are built like yours and mine. She is a testament to the success of walking upright, but this new way of moving created a new, life-threatening problem. The very same change in the pelvis that made walking so efficient also made childbirth incredibly dangerous. The birth canal became narrower. How did we solve this evolutionary paradox? The solution was as risky as it was brilliant. We started giving birth to unfinished babies. Compared to other mammals, a human infant is born incredibly helpless, with a brain that is only a fraction of its adult size. This profound vulnerability created something entirely new in the animal kingdom: the human childhood. Because our babies were helpless for so long, we had to fundamentally change how we lived. The solitary life was no longer an option. Mothers needed help. Fathers needed to stick around. We had to stay together. We had to cooperate. We had to protect one another. We had to care. This long period of dependency wasn't a weakness. It was our secret weapon. It was during this extended childhood that we learned, played, and formed the deep social bonds that would become the bedrock of our societies. Lucy's legacy wasn't just in her bones. It was in the birth of the human family. Let's leap forward again to 1.8 million years ago. A new figure appears on the savannah. This one is different. Taller, leaner, more athletic. This is Homo erectus, the upright man. But more than that, he is the first true human traveler, the first of our ancestors to walk out of Africa and explore the entire planet. His secret? Not just long legs, but a revolutionary cooling system. Homo erectus was one of the first primates to lose most of its body hair and develop the ability to sweat. This made him the ultimate endurance hunter. In the heat of the African noon, most predators had to rest. A cheetah is a master of the sprint, but it can't run for long without overheating. Homo erectus couldn't outrun a cheetah, but he could outlast it. He could walk, and walk, and walk, until his prey, covered in fur and unable to sweat effectively, simply collapsed from heat exhaustion. We became the masters of the long game. We didn't need the sharpest claws or the fastest sprint. We conquered the world with persistence for millions of years. Our ancestors lived in a world dictated by the sun. When it set, the world became a terrifying place, filled with unseen dangers. The dark was our enemy. Then, one night, something changed forever. A group of Homo erectus sat gathered around a glowing, amber light. Fire. They hadn't just found it. They had learned to control it, for the first time. We brought the sun down to earth. Fire changed everything. It kept the predators at bay. It gave us warmth. It cooked our food, unlocking vital nutrients that fueled our rapidly growing brains. But perhaps most importantly, it gave us the first social space. Around the campfire, our ancestors gathered. They shared food. They felt safe. And in that safety, in the warm glow of the flames, the silence that had defined our existence for millions of years was finally beginning to break. Thanks for watching MT Entertainment. Subscribe for more videos like this. On the next episode, The Fire and the Word, the Birth of the Mind.